Hey, what's up guys? Coach Myers. Welcome back to the Beginner's Guide to Boxing. Here we are at Old School Gym in the War Room. Episode 2, we already went over stance, weight distribution, and kind of your basic punches. But now we're going to peel back even a little bit further, and we're going to talk about how to make a fist, how to hold your hands, and how to wrap your hands. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Coach, I know how to make a fist. You would not believe how many people, clients in the past, whatever, the first time when I try to put them through a boxing workout, they do not know how to make a proper fist that is going to be able to, inflict injury to someone else, but also prevent injury to their own hands. So one of the most important things is you want the front of that fist to be flat. Okay, so what I mean is when you grab it, you don't want your thumb sticking up like that. That's real common. I see that a lot. You definitely do not want to put your fingers over top of your thumb in any way. You want a nice flat surface. And ideally, you want to be striking with those two knuckles, the two bigger knuckles. You don't want to hit with with your ring finger or your pinky finger knuckles. So that's kind of the most important thing, is you want to make nice flat objects. And also remember, our hands were made to do lots of things. They weren't designed to be weapons. So, if you make an improper fist, or if you don't punch correctly, you have a pretty good chance of hurting your hands, because they really weren't made to be weapons. Another thing you want to think about is when to clench your fist. So a lot of times heavy bag injuries with beginner boxers, they end up rolling their wrist. And it's not because they punch so hard or anything like that. The main reason that people roll their wrist when they hit that heavy bag is because their forearms are fatigued, because they're sitting there squeezing their fists like maniacs throughout the whole workout. You want to be nice and relaxed. So when I'm boxing, I'm keeping my elbows right here on my ribs, and my hands are just kind of half closed like this. There's no tension whatsoever, very little tension in the shoulders, and definitely no tension in the forearms. Now, as you throw your punch, at the last second, that's when you want to tighten up that fist. If my fist is tight already, number one, that's going to slow down my punch, because it's going to tighten up my bicep a little bit. You want that bicep to be nice and loose. And number two, your forearms are going to get fatigued fast. If you're doing a 3-minute round on the bag, there's no way you can clench your hands for 3 minutes, because what's going to happen, those forearms will fatigue, you're going to hit it, you're going to roll your wrist. So again, hands right here, nice and flat, hands nice and loose, boom, as you throw it, at that last second before impact, that's when you clench your fist. Boom, right like that. Pretty simple concept, but I wanted to throw it out there because I've always been surprised at how many people don't really understand how to make a proper fist, or that they think you got to, clench your fist hard is the way to go. So now I want to show you how to wrap your hands so you can protect them. And the good thing about a nice pair of wraps is that it's going to almost form like a cast around your wrist, so that you can keep your hands a little bit looser, so that when you hit the bag, even if they're not completely, your hands aren't completely tensed up, it's still going to be nice and supportive of the wrist and kind of hold your hand in that fist position. So you want to make sure that you get some wraps that get some elasticity to them. Unless you're a pro, you're not going to be wrapping with gauze or with all cotton wraps. You want, they're kind of like a Mexican style wrap is what they're known as. 180-inch length is the way to go. Maybe it's 180 cms. either centimeters or inches, whatever they sell them in, is 180. That's what you want to go with. So the wrap is always going to say this side down. That's the side you go down. You're going to loop it around the thumb, and you're always going to start going away from the thumb. We're going to call this area right here below the thumb where it joins the wrist. We're going to call that home base. So when you hear me referring to, going to home base, you're always going to return back to that area. Now the first thing you got to do is you got to build a base by going 3 or 4 times around the wrist. So you got to start kind of in a crisscross motion. You don't want to go in the same way. I'm kind of making an X around the wrist. Right there like that. And also, if you notice, I'm not pulling as tight as I can, cutting off my circulation. I'm not letting it be loose either. I'm just snugging it up just a little bit. I should still have feeling in my hand, but it should feel like it's not going to slide around. Another important thing to think about is you want to keep your fingers spread out as much as possible the whole time. If I let my fingers relax and I snug this up, it's going to gradually kind of constrict the bones in the hand. Number one, that's not going to be comfortable. Your hand's going to start to get numb, and if your bones are kind of constricted a little bit, there's a better chance that you're going to damage your hands when you hit the bag. So I've went around the wrist 3 or 4 times. I'm back here to home base. Now I'm gonna go up and across the hand, right like that. I'm gonna go under the knuckles and then X back across the other way. So I've made a nice X across the hand, under the wrist, back to home base. I'm going up around. Let me straighten out a little bit. There we go. Now I'm gonna make a pad to go around my knuckles. So I'm going under the knuckles, over, and if you watch, you know, the wrap's almost going up to that next knuckle, covering that whole part of the finger right there. So 1, 2, again, snug but not tight. 3, there I am right there. Now I'm gonna go across the hand. Oh, let it loosen up a little bit there. Back under the wrist, here I am, home base. Now from there, now we're going between the fingers. I start with the furthest one away, the pinky. I go from home base, up around. Now these you're gonna pull kind of tight because they're gonna really hold everything together and keep that spacing between your fingers. I go under the same way it went up, and I'll go around the wrist once, and then kind of snug it up. Now I'll go to the next one, through the fingers, under the same way it came up, and snug it up. Next fingers, under, around, snug it up. Now I'm going over across the hand, under the knuckles, and across, make an X across the hand. That kind of ties everything together. Now from there, everything you got left, you can take it around the wrist, and you want that to be pretty snug. Boom. Right there you can see there's not a lot of play in the wrist. My hand, it's like a nice little cast. Boom. So follow those tips, wrap your hands properly, make sure your fist is nice and flat in the front, make sure you keep your hands loose, clench it only at the last second as you turn those punches over and hit the bag. That'll help protect your hands as much as possible, also keep you from spraining your wrist. Thanks for tuning in to episode 2. Look out, episode 3 is coming soon. We're gonna work on our movement a little bit.